Community development depends on the core principle of governing locally. When the voices of people, especially those from the youth demographic, fail to receive hearing, it creates what situation? Staff members representing the majority of Narok's County population feel neglected during processes which determine their future development.
Thank you for your participation in this interview today. Starting the interview, could you kindly introduce yourself briefly?
I'm Collins Matoke, a Kenyan citizen.
Youth in Kenya today go through a lot of challenges, starting from unemployment, limited access to education, and healthcare. Could you kindly tell us how this has affected the youth in Narok County?
The issue of unemployment in this region of Narok, in this county of Narok, it has really affected us, we as the youth, because I too am a youth, and first, people have started involving themselves in crimes, because of unemployment. Another thing is that now this issue of unemployment with the youth, we find that most of these the age between 40 to let me just say 40 to 60 years are the mostly employed people, while the youths who have recently graduated from universities have no job. So these issues really affect uh, us as the county, as a nation, yeah, in many ways, yeah.
Young people claim to have been left out in political decision-making processes. Is this true, and how has it affected the youth in Narok County?
Yeah, very true. It has affected the youth in Narok County, whereby a lot of decisions are made by these elderly people, where we find that a lot of youths have been left out. Um, we find that during elections, a lot of people 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 of this age, of this elderly age, are elected, whereas the youth are not elected. So this really affects us in many ways. If I can name a sample of them, is that uh, when it comes to employment now, as you asked earlier, employment, we find that if you don't have a representative representing you somewhere, you will not be employed. So if we don't have a youth who is representing us somewhere, someplace, we can't get employment. This issue of employment, yeah.
Do you think it is time for young people to take place in political governance?
Yeah, it is our time now to eat, as the English henchman says, because that we find that we have been left out for a very long time. Now it is our very own time to take the chance. If you look at back what happened last year, June, a lot of youths came out, and we say that now it is our time, to come up and represent ourselves to the nation, so that we can be recognized, because we have been left out for a very long period of time. We find that many things that are happening, youths are left out. So it is our time now to take the governance, yeah.
According to you, is there any instance where the youth's voices have been ignored by local leaders, and how do you feel about this?
Yeah, they are in very many occasions our voices have been ignored. uh, let's say in terms of, uh, I'll take an incident like what happened recently, whereby we rejected a finance bill, and the leaders went on and passed it. So that is one of the voices that has been ignored. And it is so bitter that you choose someone to represent you and he doesn't. He does something that you elected him not to do. So it is so painful. It is so painful whereby you are trying to make your nation better, and you find it hard. It is hard for you to make it better because of the kind of leaders that we have. Yeah.
Do you think corruption has played a role in political governance, and how has it affected youth-led projects in Narok County?
Uh, corruption. Corruption first is a disease. This is a disease affecting everybody in this nation. So, uh, corruption has really affected many projects, many things that we as the youths are supposed to benefit from. Let's see, um, things like bursaries. Bursaries have really been affected by this disease we call corruption. Yeah. So because we find that a lot of leaders do chew our money, uh, that we are supposed to use in learning. Another thing that corruption has affected we as the youth, we have several projects that the government usually brings to the youth, but we find that these projects are given to people who are not youths, or are given to some youths who, let's say, they are puppets to these leaders. So it has really affected us, and we are trying to fight it out because we need good governance in this country and in this county at large. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today. Can you kindly introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm David Peter, an entrepreneur, and I'm a youth located at Getsima, Semara University.
Corruption has hindered youth-led projects in communities. Do you think this is true?
Yeah, that's true. Many of the projects you get, for an instant, there are many of the government projects that are being released with the government to enhance or to cater for the youth or to interest the youths. So you are getting that in terms where there is corruption, you have something called ethnicity. You have some of the leaders like to say where there is ethnicity in a certain ethnic groups, there are other of the languages that are from different regions. So you get that due to ethnicity, a leader may focus only on those whom they are with in the same dialect. Or apart from ethnicity, we have this thing called, in corruption also we have bribery. You get that for you to acquire or gain a certain position or become a beneficiary of a certain government project, a local leader asks you for something that maybe you can fit with at that time, or you can look for it. So that one also hinder. Another thing also that hinders as youth also, we have this in terms of this corruption, we have political disabilities. This is called political disability. Let us say, for instance, you are supporting a certain leader. Now the leader has passed. Now it is a matter of giving out projects. You get that the leader only considers those who have been giving him a follow-up or those who have been supporting him. I think that's are some of the reasons that hinders youths in government project towards corruption.
Do you think youths are being denied access to information?
Yeah, they are being denied a lot of access to information because information from government, they reach the youth through a certain given hierarchy. It comes from the national government. It follows a protocol, hierarchical protocol towards the youth. So you get that there are some of the information that does not reach all the youths. Let us say an information of a government project that needs some just a given number of youths to acquire jobs. So you are finding that in such given number, let us to say that only 2,000 youths are needed. It will won't reach. It sometimes become difficult for the local leader to convey the message to all the youths, and hence what they do is just to pick at those whom they know, the relatives, or those who have been following them. They pick for the opportunity. So it is always difficult for most of the information to reach the youths. Yeah.
And finally, what is your message to the local leaders or policy makers?
Or to the local leader and policymakers, what I can say, a leader is somebody who has qualities, integrity, honesty, Yeah, that if they work towards those qualities, I think everything will be fine. Because if there is honesty in everything, if you place honesty in something, everything will be fine. There will be no things that like corruption. There will be no things like those information not reaching the youth. Then integrity, you give the person, what he or she deserves. Because you find most of our leaders in for today's life, you find that somebody is given a job opportunity and which he or she has not reached the requirement, while the person who has reached the requirement is not being given opportunity. So I think if our local leaders and the leaders at all use integrity and honesty, I think everything will be fine. And that's my message for today.
My name is Michelle Nemara. I'm from here, Narok.
Have you witnessed any instance where corruption has hindered youth-led projects in your community?
Yeah, sure. Like tuseme hizi bursaries which are being given for university students and high school. Yeah, it has hindered us more so me, like sijaipata. I applied like severally and I've never got. So that corruption, unapata mtu mwenye ako na formation ndio anapata hizo stuff.
Do you think some of the challenges that you have mentioned are being addressed by the local leaders?
You find that some leaders, specific leaders, are addressing it, but due to corruption, haichukuliwi serious. You find it inaenda hivyo tu.
And lastly, what is your message to the local leaders about decision making and public participation by the youth?
I like to inform our leaders so they watusaidie like so that we can have a developing county or country by the youth, because we are struggling here with financial school fees pia. If they give us the bursaries, they give us some jobs, at least we'll go somewhere. We'll have a future government without corruption. Yeah.